You know that feeling when you see a classic Hyundai roll past and you think, man, that thing's older than me and still running like a dream? Yeah, me too. Except here's something really important for you to know. This Hyundai you're driving right now, it could absolutely be that car. The one you get to give your kids or maybe even grandkids one day. I'm Dean, been turning wrenches for 15 years, and I've seen Hyundais roll into my shop with 60,000 miles that look like they've been through a war. And I've seen others roll in at 280,000 miles that still purr like the day they left the dealership. Same make, same model, same year sometimes. So what's the difference? It's the habits you build when nobody's watching. Maintenance tips that cannot be rushed, skipped, or done wrong. What I've got for you here are 8 maintenance tips that could keep your Hyundai for 20+ years. The last maintenance tip might not only save your car, but also your life. Let's get into it. Maintenance. Tip number 1. Frequently change your oil. Alright, I'm starting with the boring one because if you get this wrong, nothing else I say after this matters. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. You can have the nicest windows and the prettiest paint, but eventually, it all comes down. I had a guy bring a Santa Fe into the shop last year, 2018 model, maybe 80,000 miles on the odometer. This Santa Fe sounded like it had marbles in its engine. He pulled it into the shop wondering where the noises were coming from. I already knew what was up from the start, but I listened either way. I pulled the dipstick, and what came out looked more like chocolate pudding than oil. Thick, gritty, nasty. I'll tell you a secret no one else will. Look, I don't care what the bottle says. I don't care what the guy at the oil change place tells you so he can upsell the most expensive option. I don't care what the dealership says. I don't even entirely care what your owner's manual says, though you should start there. Here's the truth. Oil breaks down. It gets contaminated. It loses its ability to lubricate. And your Hyundai's engine? It's full of metal parts moving at incredible speeds with tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. They need a cushion, and that cushion is the film of oil between them. Every time you start a cold engine, especially in winter, you're experiencing the most wear your engine will probably ever see in its lifetime. For those first few seconds, oil hasn't fully circulated. Metal is touching metal. Now imagine doing that with oil that's already degraded, already full of sludge, already lost its viscosity. You're basically destroying your engine whenever you start that car. I've got a rule I live by. Now, you must not forget this. Here goes. Change your oil every 5,000 miles. Full stop. And it doesn't stop there too. Use a decent filter, not the cheapest one on the shelf. Use the oil weight your manual specifies, not what some mechanic recommended. And keep records. Every single time. Date, mileage, what you used. When you go to sell that car in 15 years with 250,000 miles, that stack of receipts tells the buyer everything they need to know. Well, with that out the way, let's talk about a maintenance tip many people know very little about, but can save you thousands in repairs. I'm talking about your transmission, and that takes us to maintenance. Tip number 2, don't ignore your transmission. You know what kills more Hyundais than almost anything else, except infrequent oil changes? Neglected transmissions. And I'm not talking about manuals, though those need love too. I'm talking about your automatics, your dual clutches, your CVTs. Here's the thing about transmissions that most drivers don't get. Engine oil, you see that dipstick every time you pop the hood. It's right there, staring at you. Transmission fluid, on the other hand? On most modern Hyundais, there isn't even a dipstick anymore. It's sealed, it's hidden, and out of sight means out of mind. And that's exactly the problem. I had a kid bring his Veloster Turbo into the shop. 2016 model, maybe 110,000 miles. Transmission started slipping, jerking between gears. The ride eventually just gave up and refused to move. He thought he was looking at a simple fix. Maybe a sensor, maybe a solenoid. Nope. I dropped the pan, and what came out looked like used motor oil mixed with glitter, and definitely not the good kind of glitter. Clutches were toast. Valve body was clogged with debris. The whole thing was cooked. He was looking at a $4,800 bill for a rebuild. The kid nearly cried. And when I asked when he'd last changed the transmission fluid, he looked at me like he didn't even know what I was talking about. He, in fact, told me he thought it lasts a lifetime. Ah yes, lifetime fluid. My absolute favorite marketing term in the entire automotive industry. Let me tell you what lifetime means to a car manufacturer. It means the lifetime of the warranty. That's it. Once you're past 60,000 or 100,000 miles, you're on your own. And if your transmission dies at 120,000, well, that's outside the lifetime they were talking about. So what do? Check your owner's manual. Find the severe service interval. Use that. Not the normal schedule, the severe one, because unless you drive nothing but highway miles at 55 miles per hour in perfect weather, you're in severe service. City driving? Severe. Short trips? Severe. Hot weather? Severe. Towing? Severe. Aggressive driving? Severe. For most Hyundais, that means transmission fluid every 30,000 to 60,000 miles depending on the type. For CVTs especially, don't mess around. Those things are quite sensitive. They need clean fluid or they die. And a CVT replacement? Yeah, you might as well just buy a different car. If you've got a dual-clutch transmission, like in the Veloster N or some of the newer N-line stuff, listen up. Those need fluid changes too. And they need the right fluid. Not close enough. Not whatever is on sale. Spend the money now. Save thousands later. It's that simple. Next up is yet another tip you dare not cheap out on. Maintenance. Tip number 3. Flush your coolant. You ever look at that green or orange or pink liquid in your overflow tank and think, it's just water and antifreeze? How complicated can it be? I get it. Coolant seems simple. It goes in. It keeps things from freezing. It keeps things from boiling over. Job done, right? Wrong. So wrong. There's a lot more to it. You see, Hyundai's cooling system is more than just a radiator and some hoses. It's a carefully engineered network that includes your engine block, your heater core, your water pump, your thermostat, and on some models, your oil cooler and transmission cooler. And the coolant that runs through all of it? It's not just water. It's a complex mixture of corrosion inhibitors, lubricants, and pH balancers designed to protect the various metals in your engine from, well, each other. See, your engine has aluminum, cast iron, copper, brass, and probably some solder in the radiator. Put plain water in there and those metals are at war. They create galvanic corrosion. Little electrical currents flow between dissimilar metals and stuff starts dissolving. Your water pump impeller erodes. Your heater core clogs. Your radiator develops pinhole leaks. Yeah, that's a lot to remember. Well, let me tell you what you definitely need to remember. The additives in coolant prevent that, but those additives wear out. They get used up, they become acidic over time, and once that happens, your coolant stops protecting and starts destroying. As with the oil change, I've got a rule to help you always make the right decision. Listen up. Every 2 years or 30,000 miles, whichever comes first, flush your coolant. No ifs or buts. Replace it with the correct type for your Hyundai, and if you're topping off between changes, use pre-mixed coolant, not water. It costs a little more, I know, but it maintains that chemical balance. Also, pay attention to color. If your coolant looks rusty or milky or has stuff floating in it, that's bad. Don't go ignoring it. The bottom line here is, coolant is cheap, your Hyundai engine isn't. Next is a maintenance tip for those of you who drive like your life's one big budget action movie. Maintenance. Tip number 4. Stop treating your brakes like they're indestructible. Brakes are an indispensable part of any car. Everyone uses it. Your car is as good as dead without its brakes. But nobody thinks about them or even cares for them until they're no longer what they were. And by then, it's usually too late. You've already done damage. You've already turned a cheap fix into an expensive one. Here's how brakes work. Real simple. You push the pedal. Hydraulic fluid pushes calipers. Calipers squeeze pads against rotors. Friction slows you down. That friction creates heat. Lots of heat. That means with time, that heat, combined with normal wear, eats up your pads and your rotors. Now pads are designed to wear. They're the sacrificial lambs here. They're cheaper to replace. Rotors, though, are supposed to last longer, not forever. And here's where people mess up. They hear a little squeak, maybe a little grinding if they've really let it go, but no one ever thinks of fixing it. Instead, they turn up the radio. I'll get to it next month. Next month becomes next oil change. Next oil change comes, and you still forget to do it. This happens over and over again until you're left with warped rotors. Now, every time you brake, the pad is grabbing and releasing, grabbing and releasing. You feel it in the steering wheel. You feel it in the pedal. And the fix just got more expensive. As usual, I've got a couple of rules for you. Once a year or every 10,000 miles, take a look at your brakes. You don't even need to take the wheels off if you've got open spoke wheels. Shine a light in there. Look at the pad material. Is it getting thin? If the friction material is way too thin, it's time. Also, listen. If you hear squeaking, that's often a wear indicator. It's a little metal tab that rubs against the rotor when the pads are low. It's annoying on purpose. And here's a pro tip I always give my customers. When you do replace your brakes, spend a little extra on ceramic pads. They last longer, they make less dust, and they're quieter. Your wheels will stay cleaner too. Worth every penny. Maintenance tip number 5. Keep your battery terminals clean. This one sounds dumb. I know it does because I've had a number of customers ask me what's the big deal with a little corrosion. It is metal, obviously, and metals corrode. Well, the big deal is that your entire car runs on electricity. Everything. The engine computer, the transmission computer, the fuel pump, the ignition system, the sensors that tell your engine what to do. All of it. And if your battery can't deliver clean, consistent power because the terminals are crusty and loose, weird stuff happens. I've seen cars with bad battery connections do things that'll have you scratching your head. Random misfires that come and go. Transmission shifting erratically, dash lights flickering, the radio cutting out, the car dying at stoplights but starting right back up. And every single time the owner is convinced it's some major electrical issue. Well, 9 times out of 10 I walk out there, grab a wrench, loosen the terminals, hit them with a wire brush, tighten them back down, and the car runs perfectly. The look on their faces? Priceless. Embarrassing for them, but always priceless for me. The thing about battery corrosion is that the white or blue crusty stuff is the battery's acid reacting with the metal terminals. It's conductive. It can create little paths for electricity to leak where it shouldn't. It can increase resistance, which means your starter doesn't get full power. What does this mean for your Hyundai? Slower cranks, more wear on your starter, and more strain on your battery. It can also just plain loosen your connection until one day you turn the key and nothing happens. And modern Hyundais? They're sensitive to voltage drops. The computers need to see clean, stable power. When they don't, they throw codes. They go into limp modes. They do all sorts of crazy things to protect themselves. And you'll chase those codes forever if you don't start at the source. To avoid all of this, twice a year, pop your hood and look at your battery terminals. It's that simple. If you see any corrosion, clean it off. A wire brush works. There's also terminal cleaning tools that are like little wire brushes with the right shape. They're cheap. Use one. If the corrosion is really bad, you can mix baking soda and water into a paste, brush it on, let it fizz, then rinse with water. Just don't get it everywhere. And dry everything thoroughly before you reconnect. Also, check that the terminals are tight. They shouldn't move at all when you wiggle them. If they're loose, tighten them. But don't go crazy. You can crack a battery post if you over-tighten. Snug is good. Battery maintenance takes 5 minutes. Being stranded takes hours or maybe even days. Clean your terminals. Next up is a maintenance tip a whole lot of you wouldn't want to hear. Maintenance tip number 6. Use quality parts, not just cheap parts. I'm about to step on some toes here, but someone's got to say it because it matters way too much. We all see those deals. The ones with prices so low you almost feel like you're stealing. The ones where you can get a brake pad set for 19 bucks, shipped right to your doorstep. These deals exist for a reason, and that reason is that they're garbage. Look, I get it. Cars are expensive. Maintenance is expensive. Everything is expensive. And when you see a genuine Hyundai part for $150 and an eBay special for $30, it's tempting. It's really tempting. You think, it's just a sensor. How different can it be? Or, it's just a belt. Rubber is rubber. Or, it's just a filter. Paper is paper. No. No, no, no. I had a guy bring his Kona into the shop last year. Check engine light, running rough, terrible fuel economy. I ran diagnostics and found a bad oxygen sensor. Simple fix, easy job. He said he'd do it himself to save money. Fine by me. I sent him on his way. 3 weeks later, he's back. Same problem. Check engine light. Running rough. I run diagnostics again. Same code. Bad oxygen sensor. And he actually replaced it. Apparently he got it online for like 20 bucks. I explained to him, like I'm doing right now, that there's a reason that sensor was 20 bucks. It wasn't built to the same specifications, it doesn't have the same internal components, it might not even have the correct connector, which means he probably spliced it in, and that introduces more potential problems. And now it's failed after 3 weeks, and he gets to do the job all over again. Only this time, he still ends up paying me to do it because he's fed up. I put a genuine Hyundai sensor in there. It took maybe 45 minutes. That was 2 years ago. The car hasn't been back since. Here's the truth about car parts. You get what you pay for. Genuine parts, or high-quality aftermarket parts from brands with reputations to protect, are engineered to work. They're tested. They have quality control. The cheap stuff? It's made to a price, not to a standard. And when they inevitably fail, they can take other parts with them. I'm not saying you have to buy everything from the dealer. There are great aftermarket brands. Denso, Bosch, AC Delco, Beck/Arnley, Febby, Gates, Moog. These companies make quality stuff. It costs more than the no-name junk, but it costs less than doing the job twice, or replacing the engine because a cheap belt broke. So, sure, save a few bucks. But never, ever cheap out on parts that keep your engine running correctly. Your Hyundai will last longer, and you'll have fewer surprises. Maintenance tip number 7. Stop ignoring your tires. Do you know the only thing connecting your 4,000-pound Hyundai to the road is? It's not the suspension. It's not the brakes. It's not the fancy electronic stability control. It's 4 patches of rubber. The 4 tires on your car. And yet, people treat their tires like they're optional, like they could do without them. The problem is that tires are the single most important safety component on your entire vehicle. They affect everything: stopping distance, cornering grip, ride comfort, fuel economy. Believe it or not, even transmission shifting, because modern cars adjust shift points based on wheel speed sensors. And if your tires are mismatched sizes or pressures, those sensors get confused. Here are a couple of things you should know about your Hyundai's tires. First, pressure matters more than you think, not just for safety, but for tire life. Underinflated tires wear out the edges faster. Overinflated tires wear out the center faster. Either way, you're throwing money away. Second, rotation matters. Front tires wear differently than rear tires. On an FWD Hyundai, the fronts do most of the work. They handle acceleration, steering, and most of the braking. They wear faster. Rotating them every 5,000 to 7,000 miles evens out that wear and makes all 4 tires last longer. Third, alignment matters. If your car pulls to one side, or if your steering wheel isn't centered when you're going straight, or if you notice uneven wear on your tires, get an alignment. A good alignment shop will put it on a rack, measure everything, and adjust it back to spec. And here's the big one. Replace your tires when they need it, not when you feel like it. When your tires are worn out, hydroplaning becomes a real risk, which means you're not saving money by driving on bald tires. You're gambling with your life and everyone else's on the road. Tires are the one thing between you and the road. Makes no sense to cheap out or neglect them. You see, the difference between a car that looks like it can last forever and one that looks like it isn't even going to get to 50,000 miles is never about how expensive both cars are. It's never about the money. It's just 1,000 small decisions, made consistently, over and over, for 2 decades. It's changing the oil even when you don't feel like it. It's fixing the little noise before it becomes a big problem. It's spending money on maintenance even when there's nothing technically broken yet. It's driving with a little bit of mechanical sympathy, a little bit of awareness of what's happening under you and around you. Anybody can do it. Your Hyundai is capable of living that long.